The Summer People. I always thought I could be an active, sporty guy until one day I fell and broke an ankle. The injury never healed right, and my doctor kinda shrugs when I bring it up, but it has caused me to be a homebody that stays indoors, reading and gaining weight. I decided one day to get a different doctor, and well, when I did, my whole life changed forever. It's quite simple. We will keep you under with anesthesia, make some corrections by breaking these two areas here and here. The new doctor pointed to the x-ray, and putting them back together to heal more efficiently. How long until I can start exercising again? With a few months of physical therapy, we can get you back in the gym by Christmas. And so I signed the papers allowing the surgeon to do her job, and the doctor scheduled the date, April 13th, for the surgery. My sister had taken care of me for this long and was excited for a chance to see me walk again with stride and efficiency. Lots of folks swore they'd accompany me at the gym, but they may as well have been whispering to a dark wall. Physical therapy went well, and I found myself at the gym as soon as January 15th, for I had to fly back to Alabama for the holidays. There I would practice my step-ups and my step-downs on the stairs of my childhood home, where the family laughed at me while also making passive comments about my weight. It was the standard American Christmas season. When I returned to Salem, I found a gym that suited my financial needs. Of course, I was gullible and followed others' routines for a while until I met a woman who showed me a variety of ways to work out. And after a while, we began to like each other dearly and date. My weight was dropping very quickly, and as I maintained a guilty post-holidays diet and a morning and night routine of walking a mile, she admired me for wanting to be healthy. I admired her because of her seeming authenticity and warmness that hid behind her physical beauty. Summer eventually came, and I explained to her that with an inner ear disease like Meniere's disease, the condition that caused me to fall and break my ankle in the first place, the summer heat would be a risk factor. She didn't say much in return. No support there, I thought to myself. Maybe she thought I was making excuses. So I tried to just pretend I never said anything, and we went on our routine afternoon jog. There's a summer group that I want to introduce you to. She began to explain to me a workout group that got together and offered workout support to each other at our gym and hosted events and hangouts at parks and beaches. Reluctant as I was to meet stranger, for I was generally happy with few people instead of large groups, she said it would be a fun experience, so I tagged along to an event at Dunwich Park. The next morning, she made a mess in the kitchen with our juicer. Several canisters and powders and chopped veggies and fruits. She threw in some bacon as well, and it all lied all over the counter and made me wonder just how many ingredients maximum one drink could possibly have. "Drink your juice, sweetie," she said, smiling, as we got in our truck to head towards the park. Gail, you really outdid yourself this time. What's all in this?" I asked her. All the ingredients she listed were recognizable except for the last one. "What's it called?" "Lycanthemum. It's a mixture of vitamins our group swears on. Supposed to regulate one's mood and stay motivated and persistent. With the energy and health ingredients, it makes a nice mix." I never questioned her because she was carved like a goddess. While I had lost weight and toned up a bit, I still found exercise deplorable at times, and this first little sip seemed to help lighten my mood already. The group met up at Dunwich, and I left behind a drink on accident, having grabbed our water packs instead. Gail looked at me with a certain disgust and called me out publicly for it. "But dear, I didn't mean to. I know how hard you worked on it. Let me go get it and I'll try to catch up." She scoffed and said we had too tight of a schedule. She then yelled to the group, "Looks like Darren won't be juicing with us. He decided to give up on the Unity." Such strange, telling comments from someone who had declared they loved me. I wish I had just gone back home then. I wish I had just found my peace with the gym and told the goddess, no thank you. However, I had been weak. There were some toxicities and red flags I had long ignored, and it troubled me how to address this conflict, or potentially end our relationship. Part of me was scared she would get physically aggressive. Another part of me feared she might try and publicly shame me at the gym. Perhaps another gym would be a good idea anyways, as sad as it would be to pay more for a place I don't like. The group began a light uphill trot, which I was able to keep up with. The temperature was 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and I found myself reaching for my water until I began to run low. "See, if you hadn't have forgotten that juice I made you," she started. But then she realized to shame me anymore was useless, and she then feigned forgiveness and kissed me. Boy, was I truly fooled. The afternoon left. A bright July full moon rose, and I began to get the idea that we were ending the jog together much later than I thought. At 10 p.m., my arm itched, and I noticed my hair felt thick, and my nails, which I swore I had just trimmed the day before, felt funny. She said what little of the juice I drank must have taken some small effect, but not enough. The way the moon reflected off her eyes was surreal and uncanny, as she seemed to glow with a primal luster that made me feel lucky she was mine. Soon it was almost midnight, and the group stopped running to begin doing something that made me feel uneasy, yet not too surprised. I've been going over Gail's red flags in my head. It never occurred to me that this group came with its own subtle weirdness. This became evident as they began to undress, and soon an orgy had commenced. Gail reached for me with her uncanny yellow eyes and with sharp, unnatural nails. Everyone around me began to get closer and closer, and in the darkness, their shadowy faces got shadowier and darker. "Hey guys, I think y'all lost me here. I'm flattered, but..." One guy ripped his shirt off and howled like a bloodhound. The others followed suit, unsuiting, their arms seeming to grow meatier and oddly hairier. I truly mean it, guys. I think I'll make it back to camp," I managed to say with a swollen throat. "You are at camp." Gail's voice dropped 3 octaves, and as I saw her and her comrades fully change, they lunged at me. I was devoured like a single house cat attacked by a pack of coyotes. And here I dwell, a lonely spirit, manifested one night per month. I witnessed their ritual orgies once a year, and sometimes afterward, I watched them eat their unwilling meal.